All right, I'd like to talk about the week 3 annotated bibliography that's posted as a discussion question. In week 3, this bibliography is graded the same as a discussion question, but it's important because it's the first time anyone is seeing what you're thinking about for your final project. So it's supposed to be based on your final project, which is applying practice in IO psychology subfield. Sources can be used in other words, the sources that you use in this week 3 bibliography can be used in the week 5 PowerPoint presentation and the final paper. So it's all connected here. The requirements are: number one, list your selected subfield or topic. In other words, what is it that you're planning to write about in your final paper, because otherwise all we see is a bunch of sources and we can't figure out what you're doing with them. You're going to provide a summative annotation of a minimum of 7 sources. They should be peer-reviewed articles, and they should be current, and typically current 3 to 5 years. You're going to list the source as a reference and list it using APA format. Then you're going to skip a line, and then you're going to provide the summative annotation for that source, and that should not be more than 2 paragraphs. So then you'll skip a line, list your next source, and then do the annotation. The guidelines for the annotation in your 2 paragraphs, you're going to really explain the purpose of the content of the article and briefly what's it about, and then evaluate how it supports your final paper. In other words, in what way will it support it? Like, for example, it lists competencies needed, or it addresses ethics. If there's a special feature such as a table that you think is helpful, you might mention that this has a table that I plan to use or draw from. Or warnings, that I'm using this article because it's helpful in one way, but it's also limited, so you say that. Your annotation should only be 2 paragraphs. Now, once you complete this annotated bibliography, you're going to post it as an attachment to the discussion question, week 3 discussion question. Then what you're going to do is randomly select 2 of these bibliographies that have been posted and review them. And you're going to post your review to that learner in the discussion forum as an attachment using Microsoft Word. And I recommend that you follow the review structure. And the review structure, which is listed in the week 3 discussion question, is: Have you discovered similar sources in your research? In other words, how do these sources compare? Are their sources current and relevant for their selected topic? Are their annotations clear and focused? And do their annotations help to focus their research? That's your review. Same as in week 5. I would expect you to be open to feedback, because once again, you decide the value of the feedback. If you don't like the feedback, throw it away. You only need to say thank you. There's no sense in being defensive. It's the feedback's either helpful or it's not. Follow the structure for feedback provided in the discussion question instructions. And once again, you can review the guidelines for peer reviews in the sources, which is good. And remember, your feedback matters. This is the first time we have a glimpse of what others plan to write about in their final paper. And so if they're off track, or if what they're thinking doesn't make sense or doesn't address the assigned requirements, this is the first chance we have to catch it. So if you see that, your feedback can actually shape their thinking about their final paper and which is a substantial part of their final grade. And so your feedback can make can make a difference that matters. And so I would encourage you to give substantive feedback to the two that you select. If I were doing this, I would probably select two that I had an interest in the topic they selected to talk about.